Once upon a time, Wizards of the Coast made some pretty cool races, and they failed at making them balanced, or, some were fairly underwhelming, some are overpowered. Well, today, with the release of Mordekainen's Monsters of the Multiverse, they have rebalanced and changed I think over 30 races in a minor way. So, we're going to go over all of the changes. I'm joined by my buddy Philip.
Hello.
He doesn't know any of the changes yet. I've read through them all, so I'm going to be telling him what the changes are, and we're also going to be ranking how we feel about it. So, like and subscribe. Link to this tier maker will be in the description as well. I don't know why you'd want to rank these. I'm just using this as, visuals for the video, but if you want to rank them, it's there. Thanks everyone, and let's get into it. So, let's start with one of the most overpowered races, the Aarakocra.
Okay. Caca.
Yes, caca indeed. They normally have a flying speed of 50 feet. I think we've actually already talked about this, you and I, just because Aarakocra are so, infamously overpowered with their flight speed. But it's been reduced to 30 feet. Well, actually, their walking speed is 30 feet, and the flying speed is now equal to the walking speed.
Good.
Yeah. Definitely good.
Always should have been that.
It allows you to scale it and make it a little bit more overpowered. And, I can definitely see people making this very overpowered, especially if you play a monk or something. But it doesn't...
You can with the Owlin too, though.
Yeah, that's true. And it really puts, the Aarakocra in line with the Owlin. The next thing that's been added is the Talons now deal 1d6 instead of 1d4. So you'll see that pretty common across many of these races. The damage has been increased, I guess, to promote being able to, use your Talons over other things. And then they also have a new ability called Wind Caller. So this gives them the spell Gust of Wind, and you can use your Charisma, Intelligence, or Wisdom modifier. I think you choose that when you... become the Aarakocra.
I wish you could also use your Constitution.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's just like your wings.
There's a lot of arguments, because strength or dexterity could probably be argued to be used
Any
as well.
of them could work.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'd be
Aarakocra are from the elemental plane of air, so it just makes sense to have this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be used once per long rest, and later by burning a second level spell slot. So, they'd reduce the speed of the Aarakocra, but I think they added quite a bit that it's still going to be a fairly overpowered race.
I mean, anything that can fly is overpowered.
Yeah, that's true. So how do
It's
you...
really easy to get around it, though.
Get around the flying? Yeah. As a DM.
Yeah, it's super easy. If one character is flying and they're overpowered, you could just target the person.
Oh, yeah. Because, flying is dangerous, so...
Use Earthbind or have flying enemies.
Yeah. So where would you put these changes? Oh, by the way, our tiers are game-changing, better, or an improvement, whatever, if it has no effect, why, and just terrible. I think better as well.
This is game-changing for the Aarakocra, because it completely changes it.
Yeah. I guess it's just not that, So you think it's game-changing, then?
Yeah, sure, your speed is slower, but you get a spell. You get a solid unarmed strike. Your unarmed strike is as good as a scimitar.
Yeah. And what I think this will really do is this will change it from being the race that everyone chooses because it can fly and fly far, and actually have, the people will choose it for other reasons than that now. So yeah. I agree.
Yeah, because that used to be all it had, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, basically. I mean, dexterity-based one as well, but yeah. The next one is, is it pronounced Aasimar or Aasimar?
Aasimar.
Aasimar? Okay, you're not just telling me the wrong one, so the comments can get mad?
Okay. No,
We don't have
been a
to
while
get it.
since I've actually done it. Oh, 1 second.
We don't have to get it right.
No, I'm Aasimar.
Aasimar? That's neither of what any of us said. Okay.
That's how it's spelled.
Well, now they have actually taken away the subtypes of the Aasimar. So how it works now is, your Healing Hands ability now uses a number of D4s equal to your proficiency bonus for healing. So it has a decent amount of... Wait, it used your character level before? Well, that got nerfed then. Your proficiency bonus is definitely not going to get to the level of your character level.
Well, it's number of D4s equal to your proficiency, so 6 D4 it can get up to 24.
Yeah, that's true, but before it was based on your character level, right? So it would be like, if you're level 20, it'd be 20 D4. Which...
No, Healing Hands was an amount of healing equal to your character level.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that better then. Yeah, you're right. Proficiency bonus.
Like I had Healing Hands with my Aasimar Bard, and he left the campaign at like level 7 or something. Like he could Healing Hands for 7.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's great for keeping someone from dying, not much else.
Yeah.
That's really all it's useful for.
So it's given a little bit of randomness. I guess on average it probably does less.
Oh, 100% on average it does less, because at max you get 24.
Yeah.
And that's if you roll all 4s. That's...
Yeah.
Now, the first couple levels, it's more.
Yeah, I'm sure it changes as you level, so...
Yeah, it evens out around the mid-game.
Yep. So, instead of the subtypes, not subtype, you get Celestial Revelation at level 3, which only uses a bonus action. So, essentially you choose one of 3 abilities that you're able to get, and this is, a replacement for the subtype.
Oh, yeah, so this is just instead of Scourge, Protector, all that.
Yeah, well, you would get you can choose from Necrotic Shroud, Consumption, or Radiant Soul. So you choose your ability instead.
Yeah, so you just pick this at 3rd level instead of picking which subrace.
Yeah,
that makes
absolutely.
sense. That just cleans it up.
Yeah,
because other than that, like, it was all the same anyway.
Yeah, and like all of which deal damage equal to the proficiency bonus instead of the character level as well. So it's all based on proficiency now.
I mean, it makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, I don't play Aasimar, so I'm gonna go to your judgment with if this is an improvement or not.
Better, not game changing.
No.
It really just cleans it up.
Yeah.
Healing Hands is better like this.
I always like to roll on things.
Yeah, so it's definitely not whatever. It is better, but it's not game changing by any means because it's basically the same.
Okay.
It's just the one ability that it did really change. It did it in a good way.
I guess the only question I'd have is like, when you chose your subtype, like I always imagine that has like a big change on your appearance too, and I kind of wonder how that works. Like, do you all kind of look the same, or are there like different races of Aasimar, and then you choose the revelation?
So essentially, it's all one race. It's just different things have happened to them. It's like a fallen Aasimar is just like a fallen angel.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Lucifer in the Bible. It's just someone that went to the dark side essentially. Protectors are exactly what they sound like. Scourge are the scourge of evil.
Okay.
Like it. it's essentially just what your role is, and
Right.
appearance is more flavor anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll put Aasimar in better, and let's look at Bugbear now. I need to play a Bugbear. I didn't realize like they have really cool
They
reach.
reach.
I know.
They reach all the time, which is
that's
so
awesome.
strong. Because they got long arms.
So they now have the Fey Ancestry ability. So, and...
Oh, so they're resistant to like Charmed and stuff?
Yeah, essentially.
Or is it Advantage? I don't remember.
Something like that.
I imagine it's Advantage.
I feel like if we're making a video on it, we should probably note it as advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. So they have that, which makes sense. They're a Fey animal. And the sneaky feature now lets them squeeze into small spaces. I thought they were really big. I don't know why that's that.
Their size is medium as far as I know. Bears are around Goliath size, I think. Just longer arms.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty big. Well, I guess they can squish themselves into smaller spaces now. And surprise attack can be used outside of the character's first turn. And what does that mean, Philip? Is that game changing?
Well, that depends on if they had it before.
Surprise attack. If you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet in the current combat. So I guess if like someone comes into the fight, you could use it.
Like, I don't know if they had this already.
No, they did. Wait, did they?
They did?
Maybe they didn't.
I have no idea.
Well, it says now it does.
Yeah, because all the races are updated, and I don't have the actual book. What book is Bugbear from?
Surprise attack was there before, so basically it just means...
What book is Bugbear from?
Bugbear is...
Bugbear is from... Oh, it just says Mordekainen's. Great. Thanks.
Volo's Guide to Monsters. You can find the legacy content on D&D Beyond as well. It's just further down. Yeah, if you just scroll down.
Oh, you have to scroll all the way down? That's annoying.
Yeah, because it's like overridden them. But anyways, surprise attack is something that has...
Ooh, I like the new picture of the Bugbear.
Oh yeah, it looks cool. So yeah, if you surprise a creature and hit it with an attack on your first turn in combat, the attack deals an extra 2d6 damage to it. So it just means that you can surprise enemies not just on your first turn, which doesn't happen that much.
No, it's better. It's significantly better because the old one, if you surprise a creature, this one, it's just if you attack someone that hasn't taken a turn. All you need to do is beat their initiative for the new surprise attack. You don't need to surprise them.
Yeah, that's fair. So it is better then.
It is significantly better. How often do you surprise anyone in D&D?
Yeah, that's true.
You get surprised a lot.
Oh yeah.
Unless your DM sets up situations for you to surprise people, generally speaking, it doesn't really happen.
Yeah. So let's put Bugbear in better. It has been improved and move on to the Centaur, which has a pretty minor difference. As I mentioned, there's a couple ones that just have like an increase to their unarmed strike, and this is one of them. The Hooves feature now deals 1d6 damage. That's... yeah. I'd probably just put that in whatever. Like, it is better, but it's, you know, nice.
I have no interest in playing Centaur.
Yeah, so like, let's just put that in kind of whatever and move on to the changes in Changeling. I feel like that'll be more interesting, at least.
Centaur is one of those cool characters for an NPC, but it would just be such a hassle for a PC.
Yeah.
They're so big.
Yeah.
Your size is medium, but you're long.
Yeah. So a Changeling, they are now classed as Fey and can be either medium or small. So that
Okay.
and the Changeling Instincts feature now. The Changeling Instincts feature now has the performance skill as an option, which I don't know why it didn't have it before. You're a changeling. That seems to be a little bit of an oversight. And
You gain proficiencies with 2 of deception, insight, intimidation, persuasion. You get to choose.
okay, so it just adds performance to that list of what you can choose from.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, makes sense. And then it also lets you switch between medium and small, like as you're playing, essentially as a shapeshifter. Or the shapeshifter feature lets you switch between medium and small. Not only can you change the way you look, but you can change your size as well. Maybe like imitate a kid.
Yeah, because it used to be that you could change your height and weight, but not so much that your size changes.
Yeah, like slight changes. Like you could probably go from like 5'8" to like 6 foot, but not to like a kid size, right?
Yeah, you could go from a large human to a Goliath, but you can't go down to a gnome.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Like, so like these changes are better.
Honestly, to me, honestly, whatever.
Yeah, like they don't really.
You get an extra choice for which proficiency you choose. Performance. I mean, if I was at the table and a player had persuasion and they asked if they could make a persuasion check, even though it should be a performance check, I probably wouldn't even think twice. I would just say yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Changing your size is so specific.
Yeah, it's really just the roleplay aspect of like if you want to imitate someone smaller than you, I guess. That's the only
but how
thing.
often is it gonna come up that you need to imitate someone a size smaller than you? Like, do you really need to infiltrate a goblin camp that badly? You know, like.
Yeah. That and
If you're good enough at persuasion, and deception, you don't need to anyway.
Mm-hmm. And
this is pretty whatever to me.
With that saying, these are still improvements. They're just we just don't care about them that much.
Yeah, it improves it, but so minorly in ways that it really doesn't matter. Because if you really want shape changers so that you can switch between medium and small so that you can trick people, you're probably playing a character with high charisma.
Yeah.
So you probably just deceive people anyway. You're fine.
So the next one is the Deep Gnome. So this one has, I can't believe they're making me pronounce this again. Sverfneblin camouflage instead of stone camouflage. So I think that was, they had like advantage when they were trying to camouflage into stone, but now they just have advantage on any stealth check. It's, I don't know, it takes a little bit of the roleplay away. I mean, it's better, but like, I don't know why Deep Gnome, like, I guess if you're in the darkness, you're more stealthy.
Well, the Underdark is very dangerous. They'd learn how to hide.
Yeah, it is limited, so this can be used a number of times equal to the character's proficiency bonus and recharges on a long rest. But you probably won't run out of charges too much with that ability.
Yeah. It's pretty... It's fine.
Yeah, you get gnomish magic resistance as well, so charisma, intelligence, or wisdom saving throws you get advantage on. Is awesome. And yeah.
That's something forest gnomes get, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Or is that something that every gnome gets? That might be something every gnome gets.
I don't think so. I think it's one subtype, and I remember playing that subtype, but...
Gnome traits. You have advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic.
Why is that a change?
It's not. They're just telling you all the things that you get as this type of... No.
I know, I'm reading off something else.
Well, they're just telling you what you get. Didn't used to say that in the Deep Gnome page.
Oh, weird. Okay. I thought all the gnome...
It says it on Gnome, not Deep Gnome,
Oh, weird.
because it's something that every gnome gets.
Yeah, so that's not a
Not
change.
specifically Deep Gnome.
I don't know why they're reiterating.
Because this person, probably whoever made that thing you're looking at, probably just looked at Deep Gnome and was like, "That's not there. Put it in."
Yeah. Okay. Well, Gift of the Svirfneblin also lets them cast Disguise Self at 3rd level.
Cool.
Which is helpful. And non-detection at 5th level. Also very helpful. Makes you very stealthy gnome.
That was like free spells.
Oh yeah, I'm all down for racial free spells. I think it adds a nice flair to it. And like the Gust of Wind with the Aarakocra, like it just, you know, you could make your own ability for that, or you can just, you know, there's already a spell that does it. So why not just let them use that? How do you feel about the Deep Gnome changes?
Better.
Yep. Makes them very stealthy. And the limitation on like hiding into stone is nice because I don't know, it's just limiting.
I agree.
It's just, yeah, unnecessary. The next one is Duergar. Duergar. So they no longer have Undercommon as a bonus language, and
why not?
I don't know why not. Like, don't they live underground? Shouldn't they be able to speak that?
Yeah, I mean, all dwarves do. These are from the deepest places of the Underdark. These are essentially the Dark Elf version of dwarves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, all dwarves live underground. They're dwarves. That's what they do.
Yeah, and their Duergar resilience is now replaced with Dwarven resilience, which gives resistance against poison damage and saves against the poison condition. So that's an improvement.
That's fine.
Yeah. They also have Psionic Fortitude, which gives advantage on saves against the charmed condition, which is just fine. And the Duergar magic spells are no longer affected by sunlight and can be cast with relevant spell slots, which is nice. And it is also not limited. I can't remember which one it said that the modifier had to be, but it was either Charisma, Intelligence, or Wisdom, and now it lets you choose which modifier you want to use for, you know, the Duergar spell slot, or spells, which is great.
Yeah.
Because the Duergar has some great spells.
It used to just be intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. So that just like opens up a lot of options for spellcasters, and why wouldn't you be able to use different modifiers if, you know, different spellcasters use those modifiers for different things?
Because they're just coming up with reasons to have this. Like, you are being taught this magic by your fellow Duergar. So it's something that you're learning, which is intelligence. Not something you innately know, which is charisma, or something that you just see and can figure out, like wisdom.
That's a good point. I never think of like the roleplay aspect of it. I just always like think of the practicality of it, to be honest.
You're a gamer.
I know, I'm one that plays games. So that's a negative for you then? For that versatility? No.
Not a negative for me.
Okay.
I like it. I was just... You said you didn't know why it was like that, and I was explaining why.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That is the reason.
So I'd probably put this one in better. Like,
yep.
It's not whatever. It's...
Yeah, I never want to play a deep dwarf. Don't really care about them, if I'm honest.
But it definitely adds things, makes them better. So let's move on to Eladrin then. So the Phase Step race feature can now be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, but no longer recharges on a short rest. So it recharges on a long rest now, but you have more charges throughout the day, which I like more of. I don't know how many short rests
And it's
you
your
have.
proficiency bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it is.
Because generally speaking, I don't short rest 3 times in a day.
Yeah. And then the summer version now does damage equal to... The summer variation now deals damage equal to your proficiency bonus and not the charisma modifier, so it's not linking it to a specific ability score, but your proficiency bonus again. And that's just... I see a common trend where they're trying to not limit races to specific classes, which I don't know how I feel about, because it's kind of cool that some races are, you know, innately better at some races, at some classes.
Well, it's because they found that, like, oh, you want to play a bard? Be a half-elf.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to play a barbarian? Be a dwarf or a half-orc. They're trying to make it so that it's easier for anyone to be anything. Because you can still do those things, but you can also be a nice bard half-orc. You know, like,
Yeah.
they're making it so that it's more up to the player.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Is this it's probably either better or whatever. I don't have a strong opinion about this. Probably a whatever for me. Like, it is better, but...
Well, are the spring and winter and autumn ones different?
Nope. Just the summer one that's
not at
been
all?
changed. Yeah. It's just the phase step that's changed, and the summer one that has changed.
Oh, yeah, that's whatever then.
Yeah. I feel like if you're more fans of the Eladrin and played them more, this would probably be better. Definitely
I
not.
never play elves. I'd rather play a half elf.
Yeah. I agree. The next one is a Firbolg. And... Or the
What about fairy?
So there's no changes to fairy. That's a good reminder.
Why is it in the book?
Fairy is in the book, but there's no changes to it. They're just adding it in
so
there.
It's just that if you buy the book, you get fairy.
Yeah, so you don't have to buy the Feywild book. I can't remember the name of it, but off the top of my head. You also get Harengun, the bunny people, as well in this book, but there's no differences, and probably because it's like they're one of the newest races anyways.
Honestly, I'm down for that. I don't mind having extra content in a book.
Yeah, because I also don't want to buy the Feywild book. It's an adventure book. I don't want to buy it just for the races. I know you do.
I just buy the races. I just spend the like $3 and get the race for D&D Beyond.
Yeah. So for the Firbolg magic can now use spell slots to cast detect magic and disguise self, which is always helpful. And you can choose charisma, intelligence, or wisdom as the modifier. You're going to see that as a common trend throughout these changes. They're unlinking those.
Anytime a race gave a spell, if a player in one of my games wanted to use a spell slot for it, I'd let them.
Yeah, makes sense.
I would never say no, because that's stupid. Like, oh, there's this spell you innately know and you already used your one use, but you're a wizard? Sorry, man.
Yeah. Hidden step can now be done a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, but again, it no longer restores on a short rest. We've seen this before. It's gonna keep coming up. Yeah. It's a positive. We've already agreed on that. And then Speech of Beasts and Land now works on vegetation, which, yeah, makes sense. A Firbolg can talk to a plant.
You're pretty good with it.
What?
You could communicate in a limited manner with beasts and plants. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. Can you understand them now?
Are you looking at the new Firbolg or the old Firbolg?
The old Firbolg.
No. Yeah, I guess you can understand them better. I feel like it's like a difference in the wording, probably. Let's look at this. What the heck is the difference between beast, plant, well, beasts and plants, obviously. What's the difference between plants and vegetation? Why did they make the distinction?
Yep. That's the only difference, is that they added the word vegetation in there.
Yeah, so you can speak to vegetation, which is different from plants, of course.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
I would never make that differentiation.
And I think it's game-changing that you could speak to vegetation instead of, now.
Look, man, that carrot's got a lot to say.
I know, and that's not a plant. So it's important that they put that distinction in there.
They should have also said fruits.
No, definitely not fruits.
Oh, sorry.
Do they mean vegetables when they say vegetation?
Yeah.
I don't even know
they
what
mean vegetation.
I don't even know what they mean with vegetation. I'm not a plant person.
I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Is this better or whatever? Like, it is. I feel like it's better despite the vegetation thing.
Hidden Step is better. Firbolg magic is whatever. Because, like, not really that much different.
Yeah.
Speech of Beast and Leaf is Y.
I wish I could split this up in the tier list. That would be a long tier list.
Go with whatever, because it's one of each.
Yeah, I feel like the vegetation brought it down. Just those two words and just the one word, vegetation, brought it down to whatever. Well, this video ended up being way longer than I expected. There are over 30 races to go over. So this is going to be split up into 3 different parts. If you're watching it on the release date, the second part's going to come out tomorrow. Stay tuned, like and subscribe, of course, to get notifications of the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.